After exiting Hubris Comics, we find ourselves in the Mason District area. Just across the street there's a Pulowski Preservation Shelter. Inside is a Dean's Electronics skill book and a variety of junk. Closing the shelter and turning around, we see a metro entrance leading to the Falls Church area. If you haven't already, you can see that video by clicking here. Back up the stairs and to the left we see a bus beside a bus stop, and to the south is a congregation of super mutants guarding a Wasteland captive. Let's see if we can help her. Before heading down the sloped path, we can walk over to the tree on our left and pick up a pack of mentats and some pre-war money. Down at the center of the dead park, we can interact with the captive and receive a bottle of Radex. Surrounding us are several shopping carts that have been converted into makeshift cages. Inside these are the skeletons of the captives who haven't been so lucky. There isn't anything in the park other than 2 bathtubs, typical playground objects, and the super mutant cart, which I think they use to transport supplies and people, although we never actually see them using it. On the cart are 3 Chinese assault rifles and a variety of ammunition. Towards the south we can see an outside seating area where the pre-war people might have eaten lunch while their children played in the park. Instead of finding finger sandwiches and hot coffee, we get a 200-year-old bottle of Nuka-Cola and a selection of chems. Leaving the seating area behind and turning left, we can enter an open building. The ground floor is barren, but upstairs we find a sniper's nest. The occupant has seen better days, and judging by his position, I'd guess he was shot through the window and then fell back, although he could have been leaning back, slipped and broke his neck. That could explain the absent bloodstain. Around the nest is a sniper rifle, ammo, a guns and bullets skill book, frag grenades, and a 10mm pistol. That's it for this side of the Mason District. There's a road we can follow on either side of this strip of buildings. I went with the right side and shortly after came across 2 mutants. There's only the one building we can enter, and that's the one with the fresh corpse of a super mutant. The building itself has that familiar school exterior and interior, but there's no chalkboards, desks or lockers. The only loot here is on the first floor, across the wooden boards, where we find 4 ammo crates and another 2 Chinese assault rifles, although these could be normal assault rifles or even hunting rifles depending on your level. Hopping down from the wrecked building and heading to the southwest corner, we see a metro entrance leading to the flooded metro. Before going inside, we can head around back and grab our 3rd pack of mentats. As soon as we enter, we hear running water and a familiar sound. Mirelurks. Turning on our Pip-Boy light to get a better view. I know this metro is flooded, but is a boat really necessary? We can loot the Etatronic on the right hand for some pre-war snacks. The other end of the tunnel has collapsed, so our only option is to head through the open door. Doing so takes us out of the metro and into a utility tunnel. Up is blocked, so we have to go down, and as we do, we encounter our first Mirelurk. Past the Shelley corpse is a door to the right with more noises. The end of this tunnel is the same at both ends, which makes exploring this place a little easier. Beyond the door is a long winding set of stairs with a couple of Mirelurk Kings. With them out of the way, we can search the gun cabinets and pick up a sniper rifle and a scoped .44 Magnum. which is not something you see every day. With the new weapons tucked away, we can begin the descent into the lower levels. The next floor down has nothing but junk and a pile of smouldering ashes, but the floor just below that splits off into 3 different directions, into a tunnel to the north, into a tunnel to the east, or we can continue down the staircase to the final floor. With too many choices, I decided to stay on track and finish the stairs, which brought me to a pool of radioactive water. I did take a dip and see if there was anything to claim as my own, but all I got was radiation poisoning. Next, I decided to take the eastern tunnel. Further in and just around the bend, we see live frag mines. Last time I checked, Mirelurks don't use explosives. There must be someone else down here. Disarming the hot potatoes and going through the door to the left, we see some kind of living quarters, and just in front of our feet is a tripwire connected to a combat shotgun. After taking care of that, we can safely step inside. Straight away we can loot the first aid box for some medicine. Across from that and resting atop a gun cabinet is a Nuka-Cola Quantum. Inside the cabinet are some 5.56mm rounds, and on the bottom shelf is, what I'm assuming to be, the rest of the frag mines that haven't yet been planted. On the table next to the shotgun trap are 3 bottles of purified water, and inside of the collapsed fridge are a number of pre-war foods. The stairs leading down are completely flooded, with nothing but several rusty barrels. Back on dry land we see the body of a Wastelander gracefully sprawled across the metal shelves. This man must have been the one placing the mines. As I was moving the body, I could hear what sounded like a shaking bag of bottle caps, but the only thing on the Wastelander was a sledgehammer. A few feet away from the musical corpse is the unique power fist dubbed the Shocker, and a holotape titled Shocker Glove. Picking this up and opening our Pip-Boy, we read, "Dear consumer, thank you for your participation in the exciting Shocker Glove pilot program. You're receiving a prototype SFGV-118B model of the Shocker Glove. Please reference this prototype number in any future correspondence. We encourage you to make this prototype a part of your daily life and look forward to your valuable feedback. Thanks from all of us at the Shocker Glove R&D team. PS, Shocker Glove prototypes are not for use in water, public, near small children, or domesticated animals. This is not a kitchen appliance and should not be used near uncooked food. Use of Shocker Glove prototype constitutes a binding agreement to hold manufacturer harmless from any and all legal purposes. During prolonged use, several electrical burns may occur. Do not look directly at Shocker Glove while operating. Some prototype models have proven sensitive to certain radio frequencies during use. If you suspect radio interference, please submit a malfunction report listing FCC broadcast frequencies in operation at the time, and report to the nearest emergency medical facility in your area. Despite the multiple warnings, the Shocker doesn't actually shock, burn, or singe the player. The weapon is fairly decent against Mirelurks, but its true potential shows when using it against robots. The final thing we can do in this room is unlock the safe, which has a little bit of everything inside. With that said and done, we can retrace our steps to the entrance of the northern tunnel and use the new weapon against the Mirelurks. As I mentioned before, it's not a bad weapon, but it shines best when attacking something made of metal.
Trespassers will be...
Heading down this tunnel forces us to go right and down again until reaching a door on the left. Going through, we find another door. Opening this brings us into the enemy's field of view. We're slowly seeing more and more egg clutches. We must be getting close to the main nesting ground. After looting a nearby first aid box and swiping the ammo from the gun lockers, we can head down the narrow passageway and confirm our suspicions. There are two ways we can go from here: across the room and through the doorway, or up the stairs. As I thought about which way I should go, I was attacked by a sonic blast which came from somewhere up above. That pretty much decided for me. I will loot this room, head through the doorway, and then come back to tackle the stairs and the upper floors. In this room I found a laser rifle and the required ammunition inside a gun case tucked under the stairs, a surprise visit, and a whole lot of Mirelurk meat from the egg clutches. Through the doorway were another two kings, one of which appeared out of thin air. Inside the room with the body of the first king is a pouch of Radaway, a bottle of Radex, and a first aid box consisting of one Stimpack and a bottle of dirty water. Climbing these stairs leads to a passageway that forks. Both ways have their own kings to deal with. The right path leads to an open floor with a machine at the center. Let's check that out in just a second. Keeping the wall to our right, we see a small corner filled with lockers, boxes and cabinets. Things to note are the Radaway, a few bottle caps, and the laser pistol, ammo included. That's it for this corner section. Heading back into the larger room, we find the body of the king that sneakily attacked us. Disappointingly, the machine at the center doesn't actually do anything. I was hoping to drain the water from the area and maybe find another tunnel to explore with a hidden room containing a secret enemy or something, but no such luck. The other path leads to an even higher room with a first aid kit and a trail of blood. Following this to the back of a clunking appliance, we find the remains of some long-forgotten adventurer. Surrounding the bony frame is a scoped 44 Magnum, 2 Jet, 12 Magnum rounds, and a guns and bullets skill book. To the south is a door where we can exit the utility room and go into another tunnel. At the end of this, we can look through the bars and quietly judge the useless machine. Turning around, we can walk over to the only available door and follow this back into the metro. To the left is an empty locker and a very obvious dead end. To the right is a blinking vending machine, and after taking the 2 Nuka-Colas, we can exit the flooded metro and step under the blue skies of the capital Wasteland. At the top of the escalators, we see a Pulowski preservation shelter. Inside are the remains of a Chinese operative. We can take her skill book, Stimpaks, and pulse grenade. Sheshe. And there we have it, the Mason District, flooded metro, and the Shocker. If you enjoyed today's video, then consider leaving a comment, liking the video, sharing it with a friend, subscribing to see more, and enabling notifications to avoid missing any activity. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next adventure.